Hey, this is Sean from the Heavy Underground Farm Report, and today I have Ruben and Jason from the Freaks on the show. It's pretty raw and unedited, man. I hope you have a good time watching it. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate you guys being on. Hey, this is Sean from the Heavy Underground Farm Report, and I got the Freaks on today. I can't believe it. I've got Jason and I've got Ruben. It's Ruben's birthday. We are having a real informal start to the interview. We got a cat. We got some whiskey root beer floats brewing in the background. Like I said earlier, you guys, I'm super happy to get a chance to talk to you guys.
Oh, we're so.
Oh wait, hang on. Come back, guys.
We're still here, man.
There we go. There we go.
If it flips off, we're gonna be right back. We're always
yeah. No, we're like I said, no worries at all, guys.
It's raining here. I don't know if that like
raining here. You guys are in. Are you in LA?
Right now we're in the beautiful city of Rancho Santa Margarita, California.
I believe I have driven through there about 75 miles per hour.
Where are you guys?
No, I didn't. I never drove anywhere in Los Angeles at 75 miles per hour.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, dude. No, man. Seriously. It's raining here in Denver too. I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, we played at your mom's house.
You guys did?
Yeah.
When?
Are you effing kidding me? You're the only one that didn't get mad at me when I just said that.
Oh, I'm so
You're the only one that
bummed
knows what I'm fucking
out.
talking about. Can I say the F word on the show? Probably not.
All right. Well, I can't.
You're the only one effing would know what I'm talking about. We played at your mom's house. Ruben, when did we play at your mom's house?
Oh man, it was maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago. No, and we played with. You're gonna hate it even more. El Perro.
Jeez.
Well, and that place. No, but that place. All I've seen of Denver is your mom's house.
So they have so I just went there for the first time like about a month and a half ago, and they have the weird.
For the first time. The
like
little pizza
disco
place next door?
Yeah, no, so that music place I've been shopping at since I was like 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
Like, all right, you guys got your drinks going there, your desserts.
Yeah, excellent. Hi.
Excellent. Hey, man, thank you so much.
Ruben, hey, can I do something?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ruben. Happy birthday to you.
Fantastic. I was gonna sing along, but man, I didn't want to ruin it.
No, it's all right, man.
Ruben, I was
and
singing
also
along
really
in my
honored to
heart.
be here with Ruben Romano from he started the Freaks and Nebula and whatever, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, you guys, like talking to you guys is like it's pretty wild for me. So it's like
me sitting here with him is pretty wild, dude.
Yeah, I can imagine. Ruben,
do you know the story? Do you know the story of how I?
Tell me this. Why don't you tell me the story right now? And Ruben, could you move in just a little bit because I'm just getting half your face.
Talking about me, I'm getting bashful. I'm getting
sorry. Unless you have a question you want to ask?
But if you no, you just jump. We'll get to my questions. If you guys have stories, that's just what people don't want to hear me talk. They want to hear your stories.
I'm going to kick back. Actually,
this is my most favorite thing. So I'm a 53-year-old man. I'll be 54 in December. I have 3 kids. I'm about to be a granddad for the first time. Shout out to my new granddaughter, Lily, who's not here. Thank you. And so, but I grew up here. I grew up going to Fu Manchu shows, at the local, like our little tiny bars, when they used to play locally and in backyards and stuff. So I probably saw Ruben.
Let me interrupt you real quick. Yeah. Now, where that was, the very first Fu Manchu show was at the Doheny Saloon.
Yeah, no, that's where that was the Doheny Saloon.
Tiny little dive bar. Tiny.
Which side note, Fu Manchu
still there.
Does still actually play there sometimes. They'll do
that's cool.
Show there every once in a while. But so, anyways, so I had known Ruben because we had grown up in the same world. I was Dana Hills High School. He was. I
was a cougar.
Yeah, he was Capo. He was Capo High School. Yeah. And so, anyways, years down the road, I was in the Navy. Got out of the Navy. I was still a huge Fu Manchu Nebula. Had followed Ruben on his journey. I feel like I had kind of taken that same metal journey, from the And then I had kind of gone a little psychedelic, and then, you know how you get your brain and you see different things and feel different things. Ruben was kind of on. I mean, we're both from the same beach area. We both had the same kind of like that Slayer kind of like early kind of like vibe of growing up, but also with a weird background of all this other kind of musical influences that have been put in.
Look up the band Gadnium.
Gadnium, yeah. We were stoked to be able to be a part of a lot of really good things happening here in South Orange County. But so years down the road, I got out of the Navy. I was actually doing a little kind of pirate vinyl record radio program out of Power Plant Records in San Clemente. We called it Center for Sunday's Rock and Roll Radio Program. And so we were like, and our tagline was like, we know there's something greater than ourselves, but we don't talk about it. We just play rock and roll, so that's we were like church for people that didn't want to go to church and just love heavy metal.
Right on.
And we're like, we think maybe there's a God. I don't know, man, but whatever. So that was kind of our thing. And I would bring people in and we would have live shows. Like I had Smog Town, and then there were so many like cool bands that would come down. And I'm like, I think I could probably get Ruben. I could like talk to him. I think I know. And I had kind of been talking to Scott Hill for a couple of years and had been hanging out at Fu Manchu shows and kind of feeling my old school roots. I was so close to Ruben. And matter of fact, I used to like in the early days of social media, I used to like post pictures of Ruben on his birthday and be like, "Happy birthday, Ruben!" Like hoping like he'd be like, "Oh, cool, man," or something. Like that's how lame I am, like.
Oh my God, I still do that.
I'm so lame, And so for me to be sitting here with him, pretty awesome. But so I had invited him to come on the radio program, and he obviously he's a wonderful man. He agreed to come down, and so we got to hang out for the day, like in the record store, and looking at like Fu Manchu records. Like I forced him to like listen to Fu Manchu vinyl that he didn't really want to listen to, and then we ended up at the Elks Lodge. I still do that to him. I still make him listen. Car with him. I'm like, dude, isn't this so rad? He's like, dude, I don't even want to hear that. But so that day ended up like at the Elks Lodge, got drunk, his wife picked him up. I don't think we really hung out again that much afterwards. We stayed in contact, but it was a couple years later. I was sitting at Docent Brewery in San Juan Capistrano at the back table, drinking a beer, and the phone rang, and it was Ruben Romano. And basically what I remember is, "Hey, Jason, this is Ruben. I'm kind of like done like playing like guitar and singing. I kind of want to go back to the drums, and I don't have a lead singer. Would you like want to be our lead singer?" And Ruben, what was my answer to that question?
No, my question was,
okay, I'll let him finish the story.
Do you sing? Can you sing?
Do you sing? Can you sing? And what was my answer?
That's what I do.
That's what I do? That's not what I do?
So like, awesome, okay, cool.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's stories within the stories of that.
Yeah, people have been telling me my whole life, they're like, "Are you a singer for rock and roll, man?" I'm like, it should be. So finally at 53, Ruben called me. That's why I was like, that's what I am, man. That's what I do, bro.
Because he was always sending those little blips on social media and stuff, and we had that gathering together. He took me to the Elks Lodge and got me drunk at the Elks Lodge. He had me this close to become an elk. But
you're still an honorary elk.
You got Biff though, right?
Yeah, I got Biff.
Biff signed up.
Oh my God.
So anyway, then we go back to that little record store, right? And what else do we need? Just more beer. So Jay's like, hold on a second. Stops, takes a turn, just scoops under a counter, looks, pulls out a couple of beers. Like he knew they were hidden there or something. So, drank a couple more beers, and then my wife.
I have that picture somewhere. Tonight when I get home, I'll find that picture of me 100 pounds heavier with a goatee in the record store. Me and Ruben like holding a beer up. Seriously, dude, you're gonna look at this picture and be like, "What the fuck?" Dude?
Oh, please send me that picture.
So he starts sending things every now and then, and we play a show and he pops up, and he's, "Hey, Ruben, can I get you a drink?" It never failed. He got me a drink every time.
I would go to the shows, man.
And
oh, that's my vape. That's nicotine. That's nicotine.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay, that part you edit out, or else my wife will freak.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know
man.
I will, absolutely.
Sorry.
Or if you can blur.
Blur it. I won't do it again.
My lady and my daughter, they're out of town. I'm
Yeah.
kind of loose for 18 days here.
Yeah.
You know, so Jason's kind of.
What if I get naked?
No.
I
What
would
if I'm
say
like this?
If you look like a woman, oh maybe.
If I was nude.
But you don't. No. But anyway,
this is already the best interview
that
I've
was
ever
that was
done.
what he
All right.
did that. He did that at the very first Freaks rehearsal that he attended.
A lot of the guys didn't like it. A lot of the guys didn't like it.
A lot of guys didn't like it.
Yeah. That was yeah, I remember that.
But Ruben's like, it's gonna be fine.
You know, before he walked in the door, I tell those guys, I go, hey guys, you know, Jason might be a bit of a pill to swallow.
What?
But trust me, this one.
A bit of a pill to swallow? What the
Right,
fuck
right.
is that, man?
You walked in and did that.
Uh,
So anyway,
you're a bit of a pill to swallow.
I know I am. I'm not saying no. So anyway, Jason sends me this stuff, you know, we have that meeting, you know, and it was always like, that guy was, I know I've seen him around and stuff, but yeah, that guy was pretty cool, you know. And then his story goes to where I call him about me playing drums again. And so I'm looking for singers. He just started popping up on the social feed because he's always sending me stuff. And there's a video of him dressed as J.R. Ewing at a wedding,
My white boots.
you know, and he's in a shuffle and he's boogieing. I was like, that guy's got moves.
Fucking right on.
Yeah, I like your moves, man. You know,
But idiot, man. I'm an
I was like,
idiot.
well, he's looking pretty good there. Like, you know, shaking his hips like that. You know, I wonder if the dude can sing.
It's okay.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, like, the other guys are like, but can he sing? I was like,
I don't care.
I think he
I don't
Does it
care.
matter?
have
Look
to.
at his ass. I don't care.
So, the next thing we see is we find a clip of him on the stage at the Coach House,
Yeah.
which is a big circuit venue locally here. Somehow he got onto the stage and he's demanding the searchlights, you know, spotlight on me, lights on me, you know.
Anyways, my buddy's Orange Blossom special was doing the Gary Hoey Christmas special at the Coach House. And I said, hey guys, let me introduce you.
Okay. So it was a Christmas thing, and also he kicks out some.
I sang Blue Christmas.
Yeah. So he.
I'll have a blue. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, you know.
Yeah.
And basically, that's how he happened.
Anyways, do you have any more questions? Because we're out of here.
Yeah, no, you guys, that's pretty much what I was looking for.
Take.
Yeah.
Cut.
Boom. One take.
One take,
That-
we're good, right? That's probably it, right?
That's
Are
how we do it
clear?
here, man.
Are we clear?
Thanks, guys.
You know what's kind of cool though? Like talking about first takes is that the very first Freaks record with kind of the latest incantation, right? When it became a band. What was I talking about?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I think you were talking about like how we came together and the first incantation was so.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
right. All on full on the record, full on. It's all first takes. There's only one song that we did a second take, but after we did the second take, we chose the first take.
Oh.
Yeah, you're talking about stuff when I wasn't in the band, dude.
Right, but still, the band and you know,
It's
it
mediocre
pretty
at
awesome
best.
achievement. We all thought we went
So-
in there and just kick it out, and we did. So yeah. Anyway, first takes.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about that because the second album, the first half is in the studio and the second half is live. Did you do the studio versions in one take on this album as well? Everything sounds like the whole thing sounds live in the best possible way. There's so much energy, like it sounds spontaneous.
You know, in the studio, I think we might have done a few takes. I don't think we were at first take level.
I know, but
That's where I think the spontaneity
I
of
mean,
it.
but each
right?
take though is, I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
1, 2, or 3.
The
One or two?
spontaneity on the studio side, right, is because I think everybody was freaking out, and I'm sitting there trying to give a cue to go back into another part, but nobody moves with me, right? And then Jonathan does something that we don't get, so that's why you get this kind of, you know, spontaneous, awesome kind of jam feel because, you know, everyone's going target, you know, and still everyone doesn't see that target. So it was
I
completely
still feel like
spontaneous.
every time we rehearse, dude, like I'm getting to watch like a live show.
It
They
was a
say
Yeah.
big take, but
they say
everything
it's
wasn't
rehearsing,
like
but I
exactly
don't
the
think
same.
it's.
It was always fluid and loose. So yeah. It kind of was, maybe we weren't fully rehearsed to go in and just bam, section, change, boom, boom. And it turned into kind of just some jams on both live and studio sessions.
So when I put on the record the first time, I had been listening to like a lot more doomy kind of stuff, and I'd done some covered some metal stuff, and I put your record on. It was so fresh, like for me, it just sent me right back to like I grew up in the punk rock scene in Denver, and like I know you've heard this comparison. I know the MC5 comparison. But yeah, man, like that's the kind of energy I immediately felt. And then there's definitely the garage kind of element there because you guys sound like raw and you're like really polished musicians, but like there's just something primal about what you're doing. Like how do you guys describe your sound? Like what do you like when somebody who doesn't know the music asks you what you guys do? How would you describe what you do?
Mhm. Well, yeah, we're a dance band,
So you can dance.
You are,
right?
but honestly, you guys, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the things I
it's
like
kind of
about your
great, man.
album is
Like,
you actually can dance to your album. Nobody wants to see me dance, but like, there's a swing and a groove to it.
yeah, there's a swing and a groove to it, and it's part of just great things that we were discovering. At least I was discovering, to kind of move into maybe that type of high energy, rhythmic, kind of groovy, instead of just a riff. So it was a thing where, like, no one's gonna be doing this, what we're doing,
No,
everyone. And it is kind of that repetition of, like, you find something really cool, and then everyone kind of still kind of jumps on that same, I don't want to say bandwagon. So also you get a lot of bands, and things, start sounding a little bit similar because of the radness level of it all, right? So it kind of was me self-consciously going, like, I don't want to do the same thing.
thank
Dude,
you.
it's totally compared to whatever Fu Manchu or Nebula or even earlier on, very experimental
It's my
freak stuff.
Latin blood that wants to see the girls dance. And then my wife gets mad. I saw you looking at that girl. I was like, I just want to see people dancing is what I want. And not necessarily dancing like there's a move or a step, right? But, kind of like in the punk days when everyone's pogoing and jumping around and getting into it.
Well, I tell
Yeah.
people that, like we play with so many different bands locally here that are so wonderful in their own right. But like we, I always feel like we could play with. We've played with punk bands. We play with doom stoner metal bands. We play with heavy psychedelic metal bands. We play with instrumental bands, and everybody that we play with is like, "Dude, you guys fucking rock, man. You guys should play more. We should play more together." So I'm like, everyone we play with. That's why I think when I tell people when I say MC5, Iggy Pop, the dude, that Detroit kind of
Yeah.
psychedelic is like the Detroit. I don't know. There's something about that Detroit rock and roll, early rock and roll. Even Alice Cooper, the first Alice Cooper. Yeah, like, well, we still got a long way to go.
Which you did use to cover that when
No, we
Yeah.
did. But it's that. I mean, we're rocking, we're dancing. I mean, what is it? Is it psychedelic? Is it dance pop? Is it rock pop? Like, I don't know. It's badass, and I want to bounce. Like, so that, you know what I'm saying? That. And so we don't. I swear, we don't play with any band that sounds like us. But I also think that the bands we play with don't sound like anybody we play with. So I think we're in a lucky spot right now to like be able to play with the Brant Bjorks and the Fatso Jetsons and the Mario Lollies, and still be able to play with Fu Manchu and any of the bigger bands. Fever Dog coming up right now, so badass. Like we played with Old Blood. I mean, there's so many awesome Formula 400 in San Diego. We're a
I
part of
love
such an
those
amazing.
guys.
I know we're a part of such an amazing scene of people. Lisa Ray Black and Joshua Tree City Limits, all the things those people are doing, we're lucky to be a part. And I think the music that's coming out right now is like it's like kind of a throwback, and then so much new stuff. It's like everything is kind of like coming into this jambalaya of music that's just, I don't know. I think we're a part of that, man. And we don't sound
Yeah.
like anything else right now. We don't fit into any mold, I don't think.
So
And thanks to him. Thanks to
No,
him.
you guys don't. And so normally when I do these interviews, like whoever I interview, they have 3 or 4 bands that I think sound pretty similar, and like that leads to some questions. But like the more I listen to you guys, like I can't like put my finger on anything here except let's put the album back on again because I want to hear it again. By the way, hey audience, go buy this album.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful vinyl. I
Thank
absolutely.
you. What color did you get? What did you get?
I got the green one. Got the green one.
Nice.
And you guys, I love the insert and stuff and everything. I love this picture.
Yeah. That's the other thing too is we were like, when's the last time you had a lyric sheet in a record?
Thank you. Oh, well, let's talk about the lyrics because I want to talk about the lyrics. And thank you for the lyric sheet because I can't tell you how many bands I've interviewed that have absolutely no idea what they're singing about. It's like, I mean, like there's really doomy bands and I'm like, man, like I have like 45 years of punk rock under my belt and I cannot hear very well anymore. So lyric sheets. So my favorite song on your album, you guys, is The Weirdness. And can you tell me like maybe not necessarily who it's about, but like just what's that song about to you guys? I mean, I love the lyrics. It's like, I mean, the chorus is amazing. I can sing along with it. I think there's a story there.
It's a dark tune, I guess.
That's all him, man. It's all him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
it was just that
creepy darkness of what lingers in the shadows.
Yeah.
And it just kind of turned into that.
And he does have cats.
Right. And it was also kind of, I was trying to make a play on the rhyming and that kind of stuff. And so it kind of all trickled in as it landed, and then afterwards, it was written before it was even thought about. And after when it was all put together, it was like, this is kind of a fucking dark song. It's about the creepiness that hides in the shadows.
Oh my gosh! And I sing that song with a big ass smile on my face because I love it so much. And now I feel like, man, maybe I need some psychiatric help. Oh shit!
It's so Devo.
And that's usually the song that we close our set out, and I die at the end. So I don't know if you've ever seen us. Have you ever seen us do one of our sets?
I have just seen some clips on YouTube. But
okay,
you guys
man,
have a full.
You're really missing out, my friend.
I know I am. Maybe if I would have been like paying attention 2 years ago, I would have seen you at my mom's house.
Your mom's house with El Perro? Come on, bro.
Oh, El Perro, jeez, I'm just like dying.
What?
Like, where was I?
In Fever Dog.
No, I bet you I know where you were.
Yeah, there was like 10 shows going on that night. It was crazy. Iron Maiden show
you
was
must
that
have been
night.
at Monolith on the Mesa.
Maybe. No, I was not at any of those shows. I certainly wasn't at Iron. I don't think I've seen Iron Maiden since the 80s.
There was a festival in New Mexico. It was called Monolith on the Mesa.
I'm just like thinking I was probably just getting high, but
yeah,
probably.
That's why everybody was sitting there fighting for shows in Denver because all the similar type bands, are trying to wrap around this festival. Yeah. So that's why I think Denver.
And that was the night Iron Maiden was playing.
I think Iron
Maiden
crazy. Played that night.
Yeah, because Ed Mundell was going to get us in.
I think even like I know did Wino play that festival or something, because I think that he was also like in Denver like maybe a day before us or something.
Scotty.
I noticed on marquees, other bands that were playing.
Also, can I say something about Denver?
Yeah, I love yours.
I love the food.
I grew up, like watching Mark and Mindy, and my whole thought about like what Denver was going to be like. I rolled into Denver, and I'm like, wait, the mountains are way over there?
Yeah, we're not in the mountains.
Denver's just a big flat land, dude. I thought Denver was like the Rocky Mountain High,
You have to drive to get high.
This place sucks, man. No, but I drove through awesome stuff to get to Denver. Then it's just this big flat land.
It's like Kansas City with mountains, man.
No, so I thought
I love your
better weed.
I'm just kidding. I mean, I love your town.
Opposite like than him. I love your town.
I'm not saying I don't hate your town. I just had this view.
Great times in your town, man.
Thank you.
And,
I thought being in Denver, I was going to be like standing on some kind of a mountain peak. But no, the mountain peaks are like way over there.
Have you ever seen The Fluid live?
The Fluid, the band. So
Yeah.
I'm actually like I actually know the guys in that band. I saw the bands that formed the Fluid in like 1982 at a little small show in this little hall, and this band Slaughterhouse Five and this other band,
Yeah.
what were they called? The Frantics played, and they both played that night, and like about 6 months later they became the Fluid, and
Okay.
yeah, man.
Awesome.
So like I kind of like I
See, I
know
like
that
that band
I like
because
just I don't go out and have coffee with the Colwickies or anything, but like I know those guys from the scene, you know,
sure.
and have said hi to them and stuff. And then the guitar player from the Fluid, Matt, I actually know fairly well, and we've like hung out, and you know I've seen he was in a band that just broke up recently, and yeah. So sorry, I'm giving you a real long yes, I'm familiar. Sorry.
That was a good yes. That was a fun
Dude, that's
yes.
a good shirt too. Yeah. So how do you guys know the Fluid? I mean,
Oh, I just love the music.
yes.
You know, yeah, I just love the music, and I wish I could say I knew them personally, but you know, in the same realm of like the type of music that we're doing, you know, I completely have the Fluid as you know a total inspiration and you know mentors. Black Glove, I love that song. You
Hell
know,
yeah. Like, first of all, it's
and I
just
think they're
so cool
just
that you know who
aren't
they
they
are.
just getting some they're reissuing some stuff. I think Sub Pop is reissuing some of their
Yeah,
stuff recently.
I
Got some
think
more
they
of
were
that?
I think they were the
Sure.
first band outside of the Pacific Northwest that Sub Pop signed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well,
yeah,
I like
so
that band a lot.
me too. They're like, and it's I mean, obviously there's a little pride there. They're from Denver, and then I know, you know, Matt and stuff. But yeah, man, that's cool that you like. So yes, that's what your band reminds me of. That kind of thing, Ruben. You know, like that really
Pioneer Beat.
hard
It is
raw
has
rock.
a Detroit motor, you
Yeah.
know, to it. So it's got some muscle and it's RPM. You know, it's all about the RPMs.
You guys come to Denver, and I'll make sure you get to meet somebody.
Awesome.
That's the deal.
Okay. All right.
All
I'm
right,
working
cool,
on
man.
it. I'm
Right,
working
man.
on it. We
Serious.
did. We were almost there. We almost were going to play the Crypt, and
Oh, yeah, I just saw Volume there.
yeah, we had a whole tour booked right as you know the record came out, but Jason got some papers from the VA, and now he's got a new knee.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
cool.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, it wasn't. There was no question as to biting a bullet for it. You know, like of course the guy gets a new knee
He
before
needs a
anything
knee.
else. You know, but you know the downside was that yeah the tour got canceled, so now we are back up and running, and we're gonna try to reschedule a bunch of stuff. So hopefully soon we'll get there.
That would be like I want to see your band so bad. That would be absolutely amazing if you came to Denver.
It I'm working on it. You know,
Right on, man.
I'm always working on something here.
Everything's been still up in the air with my knee and rehab and what's going to work. We just want to. You tell them we just.
Can you hear him?
Our first
Yeah.
3 days.
Oh yeah. I mean we're back. We did a handful of shows already.
But it was like
Yeah.
last 2 weeks ago.
You know, but it was great because it wasn't just like a one hey let's see how it goes Jason show, you know, like it wasn't a one off. It turned into like boom boom boom, you know, like total weekend warrior, 3 shows in a row right off the bat, you know.
Right. That's
Yeah.
how you
I
test
can
the
only
knee, man.
imagine you were because I was like, wow, you actually healed up pretty good the way you were moving, you know. You looked like that video you did way back then, man. Yeah, you're doing good. So yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing you soon.
Man, that would be great. I know that everybody
I'm
else in
shooting
the
for like
country would love to
October.
get a chance to see you guys too. So I hope you at least tour the West, man. I mean, are you gonna do the whole country, just the West?
You know, it would be nice to get a little bit further. I mean, we have before Jason, we did do a Midwest thing, so it'd be nice to kind of be able to return and really nice to you know hit East. It'd be nice to do the whole thing. You know, I've done it many times, and I haven't done it in a long time in you know a section like that. But I would totally be up for doing a whole U.S. tour.
Do you ever get out here?
Man, I have not been out to California since I got out of rehab. So it's been about 8 years, and I'm from the Bay Area originally. I was born
Where?
in Oakland, and
Right.
but I
I was
grew
in the
up.
Navy in Alameda.
Oh yeah, man. My family lived in Alameda, so yeah, that's a cool little place. I guess I lived there for like a year after the rehab, and man, it's just it's just a lot of people for me, man. It's like
What you gonna rehab for?
For booze. So I was really good
I'm
at drinking.
sorry if we're drinking here.
No, it
These
doesn't
are
bother me.
these are root beer floats, bro. I don't know what he's talking about.
But
Man,
I'm the guy that couldn't handle booze. Everybody
No, but
else
you're
seems to
good
be
now.
doing
You're
just
good. Everything's
fine.
happy. You're good. You're
Oh
good.
yeah,
my concern. You're good.
I'm that California sober, so I love smoking weed, and I actually work
That's
in the
great. I
cannabis
love that.
industry, and it keeps me sane, and like
No.
I mean, got to do some
And that really
psychedelics
got a bad
occasionally.
rap. The whole California stuff. You're not.
No, I mean that like in a
weed
positive
is a totally different thing than
Yeah.
alcohol, bro. A completely different thing.
Yeah, it was just
as you know.
Some people could handle it, and some people were me. And but yeah, so I lived out in the Bay Area.
Those are lyrics right there.
but yeah, California, man, you just got like I love the weather, obviously, and thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, all right, that threw me off there.
Sorry. I love you.
Next question.
Sorry, I love you. I love you. I just want to say I love you.
Thanks, Jason. I forgot to introduce myself as Sean B.
No, hey, Sean B.
I
I'm
don't
Holy
do that.
J. I'm Holy J.
That is how his name is in my phone.
Holy J.
Holy Jason.
Jason, what? Can I ask you about the amazing dancing Dr. Jackson Queens Limited thing?
Somebody's paying attention.
That's not me, man. That's not
it is. Dave is here.
No, these guys have.
No, it is him.
It
is him. We were having a good time when Jason first came in, and we were hazing a little bit, and Jason was so excited to be in the band, and so he's like, I'll do whatever, man. So it's like, okay. Right. So, it turned into like we can maybe give him a complete pseudonym,
I don't have any money and I don't do fisting.
Like I said,
those are my only two.
What about for $50? No,
well,
I'm just kidding.
We'll talk about it.
So we came up with I think we played Las Vegas as well, right? We were in Las Vegas when this old
Jack's on Queens.
Jack's on Queens, right? So Dr. you want, put your Jack on my Queen, Gene. You see your money turn green,
Dr. Jackson Green.
Oh my God.
So, and because at the time he scored this white, is it
Tibetan lamb
jacket, which you see on the back of that cover.
Yeah. Here,
look at the back of the cover.
If you haven't bought the album yet, you should, just for this picture alone.
All right. Oh, yep, that's the picture right there.
Yeah, there we go, baby. Hell yeah. And we had that picture in stereo.
Right. So, we were just kind of trying to come up with a pseudonym for him. And we were like, we can, since the band is like now it's a brand new unit, we finally have the missing link to complete it all. Do we actually take it into a realm of let's turn it into like.
We were thinking Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars type thing.
So it's like, do we do something that extreme? Because we're going to be playing stuff that I think people are going to need to have something weird attached to it,
We're thinking we're thinking really weird, man.
So we came up with a pseudonym for Jack's on Queens.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right? So Jackson Queens right there,
I cracked up.
And Queen was a lot more kind of, makes
like
sense.
The New York
a lot
Dolls,
more
man. It's like the New York Dolls, bro.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna put censored over that, and then people could just wonder what the fuck happened.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sorry.
But I thank you for actually
no, you're the first person. You're the first person that's actually said anything about it. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I just thought it was so clever and cracked me up, man.
Inside joke, or
it's kind of like Nebula, Simon Moon. Who's Simon Moon? Simon Moon was a character in a Robert Anton Wilson book.
Oh my God! Yeah. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was a cool guy.
Like I played Raga in Blood from Nebula. Like Ruben has a whole sitar snippet. I don't know. This guy's got a weird brain.
I like how he called it Raga in the Bloodshot Pyramid. Raga in the Blood. It's a new song title.
Sorry, that's how I like it.
All right, you guys, like I don't even want to ask the questions I have premiered. This is so much better than anything I was going to ask you. So you guys are
if
like,
you want to use them as some kind of
What?
well,
Man,
let me ask you.
ask away.
I want to ask you one more question about your album.
Yeah.
You chose two covers that are really different, like Stepping Stone and Car Hissed by My Window. Or like Stepping Stone, I was immediately excited by because like the only band I was ever in, we played that song and I love that song. And I thought, man, they're really kind of like doing the Sex Pistols some justice here. And then somebody else is like, dude, you got to listen to the Minor Threat version of this song. So tell me, what inspired you to do that song in the first place? And then was there a particular version of that song that influenced the way you guys recorded it?
I have stated this on many occasions. You can quote me. I think that is the heaviest song ever written.
Yeah, I love that song.
As far as the words and as far as when you get into that, charge on it, it's just an amazing tune. So it's always been, I did know it as a Monkey song before I heard the Minor Threat version, but of course I was born at the right time to have that version affect me probably the same way as it affected you. And then what's even more awesome, is that not only did Minor Threat cover the Monkees, but they also covered the Standells. So Good Guys Don't Wear White, like that also, on that one, I think Minor Threat was the first time or the first version I heard before I heard the original.
Oh, that's cool.
That's in question because that was my mom's kind of music. K Earth 101 at the time when it was really classic. Now, like K Earth 101 is classic with stuff that I went to high school with. Yeah, right. The times have passed, right? But I think the Monkees version. I know it could be argued that was it the Paul Revere version? Was it Paul Revere? Who else? Yeah.
Oh, Paul Revere and the Raiders did that song too?
Yeah. I think that their version came out first before the Monkees version, if I'm not mistaken, and stuff. Which was also pretty awesome. But there's something about what must have been the Wrecking Crew, that recorded the music, that they did it in a way that there's no way that cannot be like the heaviest song ever made. The only other one,
Minor Threat covered it.
The only other song that I can claim that to, right, is Minor
Threat covered it, not just musically, because lyrically. I mean, just that was such a just such a little splice into like nobody was talking like that, man. Nobody said those words like that, man.
Song Psychotic Reaction, also probably like the first song that you can and get into a mosh pit in. And we're talking like what, early 60s, so those two songs have always kind of been like, well, man, this are the two songs that led to all that stuff that we all dig. And that's why, I mean, we also do. We do a lot of covers, and on our live set, and we're playing on. We did record it, and we held it for say the next release, but we do a cover of Magic Potion by The Open Mind, and we take our version into a chaotic way as well, So we do that.
Cars Just by My Window I forced him to
That
do
was
it
his-
because
yeah.
I just love that song. I've always loved that song.
So Stepping Stone, I forced everybody, and it was an easy force. And when he
It took a long
well,
time.
actually,
It still complains when we have to play that song.
no, but at first you wanted to play something else. You wanted to play Send Me a Woman.
Oh yeah, give me a woman, make her 10 feet tall. Don't make her big, don't make her small.
So,
Send me a woman.
You ever see that guy who's like, if you're in a band,
Sunday
like,
Christian
learn the
trucker,
song before you show up for the
motherfucker.
rehearsal.
You can't say that anymore.
So I learned the song, and all of a sudden they start playing Cars Hissed by My Window, and I'm sitting there trying to play that song. Like, wait, what? When did it change? And, it changed. And,
It's an easier throw than Sunday Christian trucker, motherfucker from 10.
so is that the reason why?
Well, there's so many lyrics in that song. You
thought
can't
your
sing
wife
it.
would be offended. I mean, you got to, that all plays a role in that. I agree.
So when I play your album in my shop, I work with mostly kids who are like in their mid 20s, and then there's this older lady, she's like 65. And so when I put your album on, everybody liked it. But the
Oh,
lady,
yay. We hope
but the
so.
but the lady, when Stepping Stone came on, she was like, this is the Monkey song. And she was so thrilled, man. She was like, and then Carhis came on, and everybody, like, that's when people in the shop were like, what are we listening to? You know, because they listen to a lot of EDM and hip hop and stuff. And they were like, what is and so, like, for me, that's like pretty neat that you guys appealed to such a wide range, you know, kids from their mid 20s to the lady who's 65 years old and loves the Grateful Dead. Who are you seeing show up at your shows? What kind of
All that.
audience are you getting a pretty good mixed crowd at your shows as well?
Everything you're saying.
It's and it's growing. It's still kind of you know, experimental stage, if you will. You know, we've been super busy, and it's been awesome because we've been busy. You know, and it seems like we've been busy more as a local band than me being X this or X that, and like, you know, taking the scene by storm. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm the fucking drummer, dude. You know,
Yeah.
that's why they have drummer jokes. You know, fuck
That's
that guy. You know what I mean?
No, how
Like,
lucky are we to have this guy?
like a drummer told me this joke, which is the funniest drummer joke I think I've ever heard, right? And it's like, why do drummers put drumsticks on their dashboard? So they can park in the handicap space.
Oh, no.
Andy Duvall. But he stole it from somebody else that I don't know who, but I give Andy the credit.
That's
right? So I'm like,
guys
okay,
are hilarious. That's awesome.
yeah, guitar guy.
I love that, man. That's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, but what's great about what you're talking about is that we can have the most burliest looking dude, burlier looking than that, right?
What?
In their leather, their combat. What's it called when they put their
It's
vest on?
called a battle jacket.
The battle. Oh, they have their battle vest on, right? And all
Or
that kind
battle
of stuff.
vest. There you go.
Yeah, and they'll come up to us and go, "Dude, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
My girlfriend really likes your band." You know,
So do I, man.
it's kind of cool. My girlfriend really liked it. You know, so that to me is okay.
It's
I
huge.
reached my success.
Like,
I want to be able to have.
No, we're doing something
you know,
weird, man.
all kidding aside, girls liking your band in this scene is like a massive compliment because a lot of the bands I listen to, I mean, I'm blessed with a wonderful girlfriend who loves the heavy underground music, but you know, like a lot of the bands that are in this genre just simply don't cross over very well. You guys like really have a wide appeal. Like I talked about the ages and now the sexes. Is it just something
like
that
any like early Bridget Bardot? Like,
yeah, maybe?
you ever listen? You know what I mean? Like
Maybe.
the backup band that she had on, you know, her music.
No, I'll check
So
that out.
okay, so I mean, that's kind of I think why I myself, as a writer of music, that genre of
Allegedly.
the French girl era, right, was Who Is a Sweetheart This Week? You know, so we have a song called Yesterday Sweetheart, because that's basically who we are. So, you know, it's we take that influence into our music, right? And it's more so like the Wrecking Crew in LA, you know, that did all Hawaii Five-O and stuff, right? There was some backing band in France that was the backing band for all those pop, you know, and at that time,
Okay.
you know, at that time, that style of music, you know, when fuzz boxes are brand new and they're experimenting. So, you know, you listen to actually the music, you know, like there's a song called Contact by Bridget Bardot. Listen to that and think of like, wow, that band is awesome.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
it's
Sweet.
groovy, it's cocktail, you know, it's that kind of thing. But you know, you add a little fuzz to the bass on that. Holy smokes! So that's my inspiration on this stuff, and I think that
Fascinating.
that's kind of why I think the other side of our species really digs it. You know, because it, you know, you tap your toe, you know, or you can kind of twitch your hip, you
I love
know,
it.
and yeah.
I love it. My
So
girlfriend
yeah,
loves it too.
did I answer
So
that question?
I don't even know what the question was. That was a brilliant answer.
I don't know either, man. Listen, everything's
No,
gonna be
yeah,
fine.
that
I
actually
always tell
does
that
answer.
parent
I'm
when
just
we're at
kidding.
our shows. I always tell people everything's gonna be fine.
I get started. Boom, up to the moon.
No, you absolutely nailed the question. That's no problem at all, man. I want to talk about the movie Lifers. Are you okay talking about that for a few minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So I'm really excited about this music or this movie coming out. And
It's a musical, yes.
yeah, it's a musical for sure, in a way.
I do a lot of interpretive dance.
Oh God, I want to see it even more now.
It's nude.
A little less now.
Which means raw footage.
It's raw footage.
Yeah.
I have a
talking about
feeling
my
that's
wiener.
the only kind of footage you
Good.
guys have.
I didn't notice it. Maybe nobody did.
I do have a wiener. I do have a wiener.
All right. So back to the movie.
Yeah. Back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
Thank you for
Tell
the
me about-
answers. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
How did you guys get hooked up with Matt Harnett in the first place to do the movie?
My wiener.
Your wiener, perfect, dude. Wieners are so useful.
Better than a business card.
I
Got
mean
one of
to
those too.
say it again, but my wiener.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go grab.
start.
I'm gonna go
I'll
grab
let
my
him
wiener.
Maybe. 'Cause that's
I'm gonna go
probably
grab
what
my
we
wiener.
were
Just a
shaking
second.
on the show.
Maybe.
I don't
I'll
know.
let him tell you.
No, it was through a mutual friend.
Okay.
No, but really, yeah, it kind of was. We have a friend who actually they're in a band that we're going to be playing with. I don't think it's their debut, but they're pretty brand new thing going on called Macaw, right?
Okay.
So Frances Sheridan and Kara Macaw have a band. I hope I said her name right.
Mostly plugging.
Well, they're good friends, yeah. But
Please do.
and yeah, we played the Golden Bull in Oakland. Sorry, that's the cat automatic feeder
All
going
good.
off. My Italian wife with her accent is calling them saying, "It's time to eat, guys." It's kind of cool because then they go running and they eat.
I have a French one that goes, bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
So what was I saying?
I don't know, man.
You were talking about
That
meeting
one's
Matt
eating.
through a mutual friend.
Yeah. So we played.
This is the best. I am having the best time.
We play the Golden Bull in Oakland, and
Don't even get me started.
there's some other show in San Francisco that's going on. Right?
Prostitute.
I bet you Francis will remember what show it was, but I don't, But I guess they had the dilemma on, do we go see the Freaks or do we go see this band, right? And I have kind of communicated with Francis for a little bit. So he said, "Hey, in the garage, hit it." So he goes, "You know what? We're going to choose the Freaks because I bet you more people are going to choose the bigger show." So they were cool and they came to our smaller attended show in the East Bay and had invited Matt with them because they knew him. So I met Matt through a mutual friend, right? And that was at the bar. And that first night, he saw the band and he kind of, I guess, knew my history. And he just kind of, sorry, root beer floats. But he kind of just said, "Hey, I have this project going on. Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, no doubt.
So, he followed through with it, and he pulled it off, So I gave him my digits, and it took a little while, and all of a sudden I received a message from him, and more time kind of went on. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, Matt gets back to me. He's, "Hey, we're going to be in town. We're going to start doing some filming." So I was like, "Oh shit!" So it's really going on, right on, And so it's kind of cool because it's been a mystery for the people who are involved, We just
okay.
I mentioned that we did I mentioned that we did that little San Diego, Orange County,
Yeah.
LA little weekend warrior thing, right? The kind of really cool thing about it is that the movie was released and he gave us links to be able to preview it. So I think everybody previewed it because we're like, so what do they do? And we go down, we play San Diego, and there's two guys who were featured in the film that came to the show. So it was like instant brotherhood,
Was this Kip and Dan?
Yeah, totally. And
Great guys.
And so they came down and like, dude, of course, hugs are given, because everyone saw it. And it's like, dude, man, you look cool in it, but man, I sucked. Like, oh, wait, man, you look cool in it. I sucked in it, So, it was kind of cool because it did bring us together. I mean, we played with Formula 400 before and we knew the guys and stuff. But now it's like we know them a little bit more, Then, meeting Nacho, we've never played with Mezzoas. meeting him was like awesome. I just met another legend in this whole little realm that we live in. And then we play Orange County, then we play LA. In LA, we play with Old Blood, who was also featured in the movie. And then all of a sudden, Jonathan comes up to me and goes, "Hey, see that guy over there? Yeah, that's that other guy that's in the movie." So Eric
Oh,
was there.
cool.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh yeah." So we got to meet Eric, and we had met Old Blood. We had played one show before, so we went before, but it was like a nice reunion again,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
meeting Eric, and kind of hearing him kind of going like, "Yeah, I had no idea what these guys were going to do because they just came over to my house and were just like, so what's your story?" Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
like, and he was like, what they filmed, how they put it together, I blew it to the wind. He was like, "Yeah, me too. I had no idea." Like they were asking me, like, "Do you have any more material? Do you have any of this?" I was like, so the way that they were able to kind of piece it all together and put it together and have it run through, it was, I think, a fun surprise for all the bands because nobody knew what to expect.
Do you think
And
the movie tells an accurate story about the state of the scene now and your experiences in there?
yeah, I guess unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, you say unfortunately. Expand on that. Is it? Let me throw this out there. Is part of that you feel that your music would appeal to a larger group of people if they were exposed to it?
I think so, with what we're doing now and, the way that we kind of hear people kind of say, "Hey, my girlfriend likes your band," all that kind of stuff. And hey, this is something, this is a breath of fresh air. This is something different, So, I hope that other people can, sniff that fresh oxygen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And, like I said, it's nice when there's, crowd involvement and stuff, and,
for sure.
you get a lot of, we get a lot of requests from out of town bands, in the same way, like, when we're trying to book a tour, like, hey, let's find some compatible
Even from
bands, right?
Israel.
Sure.
That's the network of the do-it-yourself type thing, And it's kind of like, hey, buddy, like we'd love to play with your band, but if you're expecting my band to bring in a full house for your band, well, reality is reality, man.
Yeah.
We played LA how fucking many times, right? We are from here, and as much as we love to play, and we still do, when you come to town and there's really only 20 people because all of our friends have already seen us,
Is
then
it
we're
fresh?
sorry if we let you down, So it's kind of one of those kind of things where LA is a tough town,
We want to
We're
migrate.
old dudes, we're
Well,
older guys, and a lot of times people are like,
Speak for yourself.
so
I was
here's
gonna go see you guys, but
yeah,
I took my
yeah.
shoes off.
I know, man. I'm like
I
58.
tell my
I
wife
get it.
that all the time. I say, "Hey, baby, before I walk in this house, I want you to know I'm taking my shoes off." I get in the house and I was like, "Can you have sandals?" The trash. Yeah. Yeah. So
Is
that's
it?
why we hope that we want to reach out and get to Denver and get to
Yeah.
those other places where like maybe we're still a bit of the mystique because maybe there is a little bit of a buzz, maybe there is a little bit of a word of mouth that's happening, and all our friends they love our band, but yeah, they've seen us a million times. They got to work tomorrow.
Is there frustration?
I laugh because I'm
It's true.
also one of those guys.
Well, I have to work too.
I don't have to work tomorrow. I make sure I had the day off.
Me too.
Oh man, I gotta go
But
sell weed tomorrow.
it is my birthday, so I'm not working tomorrow. Usually I don't work my birthday. But
Dude, you should always take the day
We're gonna hang
after
out
your
all
birthday off. Always do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, but this time I said I'm going to take the day after off.
I leave at 5. I leave at 4:45.
Not available in the evening because I have important business to do.
The day after is critical. I remember that. That's the one thing I remember from my drinking days. Got to take the day after your birthday off.
I have what's it called? A recipe to avoid disaster. Right?
I don't believe
It's
that.
just a PSA for the young kids who might be like,
Learn something today,
man,
kids.
is that the guy from Nebula? Oh, whoa, dude. Is that the guy from Fu Manchu? Yeah. Who are the Freaks? Now here is my PSA for all you young
What
kids
a resume.
that are gonna go out and you're gonna drink.
What do you do?
Right? Before you start your night, sodium bicarbonate is your friend. Okay? Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Drink it down.
No, it's what a relief it is.
Right. Well, that's tomorrow, right?
Well, you just ended it the totally wrong way.
Yeah.
You said plop, plop, fizz, fizz. It's gonna be
what
fine.
it is.
No, like, just what the whole.
It's fast, fast, fast.
Yeah, I didn't say the second part.
I know, I was just messing.
Anyway, okay, right? Sodium bicarbonate, Alka-Seltzer, before the night starts.
Can you still buy Alka-Seltzer?
Oh yeah, you can.
Okay.
But now I'm an old guy, so I just have my, omeprazole, which is high grade. You're like, I totally know what you're talking about. But and then when the night's done, if you can remember, plop, plop, fizz, fizz before you go to bed. So you sandwich that alcohol and sodium bicarbonate, and you wait tomorrow and you go to work.
Kids, you tune into the Heavy Underground Farm Report for information just like this. Thank you.
That was a Heavy Underground Pharmacy.
Dude, you thought of a better name than I did.
I could totally do a segment for you.
Oh, we're going to, let's talk, Ruben. We'll do our own documentary on how to avoid hangovers.
Yes, yeah. It's a lot of remedy, but mine works.
I used to have my thing was to just drink a big ass glass of water before I went to bed and stave off the dehydration, and that seemed to, I don't know, sometimes it will.
Tell me about that
could have stopped at ass, and I was
sodium that sucks it all up and just fizzes away.
I just drink a big ass.
That was my thing on tour when we were doing like Nebula European tours. That was my self remedy. And it holds true for me anyway. It worked for me. You wake up and you see everybody else like.
So you guys are talking about going out on tour again. You're in your 50s. What's different about touring in your 50s and touring in your 20s or 30s?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
That's when I understand Scott Hill and Brad Davis. You go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah.
No, it's just about sleeping.
It's a little bit more taxing on your body, There's been many times like, seriously, it is, man. So, I try to be a good tour manager. I'm like, let's go to the grocery store, guys, bananas, and
I got into the game so late. It's just like, hey, we're going on a vacation. We need to figure this shit out. Let's make sure we got food and water and drink and get to bed on the right time. And everybody better be showering. Like, we're just a bunch of dads, man.
Yeah.
That go out on the road, and you got to make sure you have the right food and make sure you shower. And then,
do you think, Jason, there might be some advantage to you not having that kind of experience and going into it fresh?
Oh yeah, because like right when I left on our first tour, I had all my stuff ready to go. Like, does someone go out on their first tour and have like their ditty bag packed and ready to go with their deodorant and their toothbrush and their stuff and their ear swabs that they like and my little hair tie thing that I had? I mean, so like when I went out on tour for the first time, I was like,
a suitcase.
No, you guys like, why are you bringing such a big suitcase? I'm like, cause bro, I gotta have I'm gonna come correct, bro.
Awesome.
So I travel now like you would travel, like, so I don't travel like a teenager, like that.
Yeah,
my stuff is dialed in, bro. Like, yeah. I have extras in case one breaks. Like,
yeah, it's always a good idea.
I don't know. Well, we can stop and buy one. But that's also the beauty. Like, we're old enough now to be like.
I think for me, it's like I'm old enough now to go like, Jason, pick up your fucking jacket. You want the fucking jacket?
No, and thank God for him because I'm on my first tour. So yeah, pick up your jacket, Jason.
Dude.
Yeah.
Why is all this stuff out of your bag?
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be in your bag.
No, thank God for him on my first tour.
And here's another word PSA announcement. To all these young bands out there,
Yeah.
if you start finding a little bit of success and you hit the road and you go on tour, and for example, you hear that yes, in Europe they treat the bands way better than they would here at an earlier level in their stage of growth, right? So you get over to Europe, and when you arrive to a venue, there is a nice catering back there, so you can arrive and get a sandwich.
He taught me all of
Sandwich,
this.
right? And you can grab a drink a coffee, and stuff. There is catering there waiting for you because they treat the bands so kindly for traveling so far.
Oh yeah.
So when you're in Europe, you don't have any 24-hour fast food drive-throughs. You don't. And it just doesn't exist, right? What you do have, you have the kebab shops. And the kebab shops are, I hear people in Europe say, hey, man, can you send over a taco shop? I'm like, I'll trade the taco shop for a kebab shop here.
Sounds like a good trade.
Because we don't have that kind of kebab shop in the States. So right there, that could be a pretty good, market scheme. But what you do is at the end of the gig, at the end of the show, at the end of the loadout, and all of a sudden, it's cool. You hear the rumble of the bus, and that means something. It means, gonna ship out, and you're going off, right? And all of a sudden it's like, stomach starts to grow and you're fucking hungry. But there's no In-N-Out, there's no McDonald's, there's no nothing like that and you try to ask your bus driver to pull over. I mean, in a van tour, you could always pull over. Yeah, but still, you're not going to find it. Waste gas, right? So I live by this rule as well. Right? And I don't know if I should share it, but I'll share it with you here.
We won't tell anyone else.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Right? They heard it here first. We'll do that. Get your seconds first.
Get your seconds first.
Arrive to the venue, you get your seconds first. So you get there. Oh, wow, that bread looks nice. Oh, wow, that cheese looks nice. And oh, wow, that cut right there of that little deli plate. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Make yourself a sandwich. You wrap it up. You put it in your bag. Then you go back and then you make another one and you eat it.
Get your seconds first.
Get your seconds first.
Kids, write that down.
Down the road, you're not going to have a second, right? And then you know how many times, like, Eddie was looking at me and I'm sitting there.
Oh, dude, you're starving.
And like, yeah, I got my seconds first.
Kids, there's always something to learn here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, anyway, I told that to Jason, and, I think he has yet to experience a nice catering platter. But when we do, when we're big and famous, that was the one thing he said when I asked him if he wanted to join the band. He goes, dude, are we going to be famous? Yeah, man.
For sure.
I want to be famous, man.
It's interesting, like, for bands like on the scene, like you guys, it's kind of an interesting thing because you're really famous in this underground scene. Like, I mean, I can't even believe I'm talking to you guys. Like, for me, it's just like blowing me away. And then you still, no, seriously, I love your music, and like, it's really, and Ruben, your history and stuff. And so for me, it's like, I mean, I was super nervous before it came on. You guys have made
I'm nervous.
You guys have made it so awesome, though. So thank you. But oh my god, and I totally forgot what I was going to ask you. That's awesome. I blame the weed for that.
Us?
What's that?
You love us?
Yeah,
I do love. I was talking about how much I love you.
I think you're just saying you love us.
Yeah, it happened to me earlier.
I think you were just saying how much you love us.
I think I got lost in the love. Damn it! I can't remember what I was going to ask you guys. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think you love us, man.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
When I sit back and have these silly conversations with myself or the other like guys who do media for the heavy underground stuff, we talk about the importance of the scene in LA in particular. Like, it seems like for things to really get big, they need to kind of be big in Los Angeles. That's the entertainment capital of the world. You talked about your scene briefly. Do you think that's important? Am I overstating that importance?
Yeah.
I mean,
when you get to the nitty gritty of it all, LA sucks.
For us personally, Randy Newman.
San Diego. You want to get big? Go to San Diego, man.
San Diego for our kind of music seems to be a little bit more.
So I talked to Dan Frick about this, and he said in San Diego, the problem is there's so much other stuff to do that they have trouble drawing for their shows too. Is that like just something you have to accept being in Southern California?
The flag needs to be replanted. The flag needs to be replanted back in San Diego. When Jason
says San Diego, I think he's more talking North County.
North County.
Oceanside is exploding right now with
North County.
Gnarly awesome bands, and that can be trickled down to Isaiah Mitchell,
Earthless,
Well,
brother.
Excuse me while I just say a prayer because that guy is like a god. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he is
Carry
the
on.
biggest
Yeah.
sweetheart, and I really, am thankful that I know him as well as I do, and I've had experiences as funny as I've ever had with that guy. But he he was a guitar teacher in that area. And I think that him kind of teaching all the local kids the way
Hell
that
yeah.
he can teach and the way that he can play, he passed on his genes to so many people,
I did not
and
know
there's
that.
so many young kids at that time that are now young adults, and there's just this immense
San Diego, San Diego, San Diego,
North County,
San Diego, San Diego, North County,
There's
North County, Oceanside,
it's
Vista,
all
Carlsbad.
Isaiah's fault.
Man, I am happy to blame him. Earthless was for me was
That's
like
my
Earthless
theory,
for me
because
was like when I
Let's go
fell down the rabbit
Padres.
hole.
it's completely my theory on it, because imagine being a parent and sending your kid to learn how to play guitar and just landing on Isaiah at Moonlight Music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, of course, he influenced that entire town, with his talents.
John Reeves, Rocket from the Crypt. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Man, all right, you guys. I could talk to you literally all night. However,
We're here to party.
However,
It's kind of like our whole
it's your
that's our
birthday
whole
party.
MO these days, man.
I should have brought a
We
joint
are
down here,
dance
damn it.
band, but hey, Jason, I got to ask you something.
What's up, man?
How you feeling?
I'm all right. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man.
Yeah, all right.
I was wondering if you like to party.
Yeah, man. I like to party. Do you like to party?
I love to party, man.
We like to party.
I love to party.
I like to party.
Right, party then, man. So yeah. That's
I'm
what
Jason.
That is what we are.
I'm Jason.
Gonna have a good time. Hey, man, what do you want to do in your life? I just want to have a good time.
I'm gonna do the perfect finish. I'm Jason. That's Ruben, and we're gonna say, and we're the Freaks. Okay. Ready? Hey, I'm Jason,
And I'm Ruben.
and we're
the Freaks. Take your lead.
I'm Jason,
And I'm Ruben.
and we're the Freaks.
One more time.
I'm Jason,
And I'm Ruben.
and we're the Freaks.
We are.
I was not going to confuse anybody.
Word. Word.
You guys are killing me. Like my whole face hurts. Like my face hurts. Like I've had interviews with bands where it's literally like when I get off, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I survived the interview. Like this one, I never wanted to end.
Oh man,
you guys,
thanks for having us, man.
Thank you for having us.
You guys are amazing.
You dig the record. I
love it.
So
you got one more time. I'm gonna hold it up. Hey, you guys, if you listen to my show and you don't own this album, you're fucking up. You need to go buy it. It's just it's so much different than everything else.
Thank you.
I mean, we have so many Black Sabbath clones and stuff. And man, the Freaks are not that at all. But, the spirit of the heavy underground is there in the record, and you can hear it. And you guys, what you're doing is amazing. I hope you keep doing it. I want to see you in Denver. I can't wait. Do you guys have anything you want to say?
House?
Dude, you can come to my mom's house. She makes a mean manicotti.
Okay.
Ooh.
Or you could play at my mom's house and they sell a really expensive bottle of water. No, I'm just kidding.
Not really. But
you guys
hey, I guess really just thank you for having us. Thank you.
Oh, my
for
pleasure.
Paying attention and giving us a chance, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope.
And I hope you
audition.
I hope your people will watch us, man.
I do too. I really would love the whole world to discover how awesome your band is. My girlfriend would too, because she's probably wishes I'd talk about something else for a while. But I'm gonna go talk about the Freaks tour again, and then
hey, let her listen to it.
She loves it, man. In all honesty, she really loves the record too.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I can't like I said, we'll get as much of the word out as we possibly can from my little station here. More guys need to hear you. More girls need to hear you.
We appreciate it. We appreciate all the help, man.
Man, you guys are awesome.
We're all about love.
You guys, when you're going to come out to Denver, I hope you let me know. And yeah, I'd love to meet you in person and hang out a bit. And if there's anything I can do for you guys, if you're coming to Denver, please let me know.
I always see you like burning a nice fat one.
So working in that industry, I'll make sure we have something real good.
Hey,
I appreciate
You guys
it.
are from California. We can't even compete
I
with
know,
that
we're
shit.
fine. We're fine.
I don't know if you tell me if this is on or off. From Jason's very first show to about maybe 2 years into it, I think we were 100% shroomed on every live performance.
I think so. I think that's our claim to fame.
I think there was 0% chance that we weren't all tripping on mushrooms.
There's 100% chance I'll be tripping on mushrooms.
Now we're talking.
Yes, well,
that was my segue.
we grow
into
things
what that
here.
day
We grow
happened.
things here on the farm.
Allegedly.
At this part, we'll be cutting this part out, snippety snippety. But when I see you guys, yeah, we'll definitely give you big old mushroom Latin hugs.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you very much for having
Ruben, Jason, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for taking the time. Ruben, have a wonderful birthday, man. I'm glad I could be part of it. I feel super honored that you would let me do that. So thank you.
No, this was my party, so thank you. Yeah.
And I hope it was great because your party was awesome
kind of guy
for
that
me.
likes throwing parties for himself, and it's so cute and stuff, But this little kind of way to celebrate,
it's the best way.
Guys. I'm grateful.
Grateful for you guys. Thank you. Hey, I'm just going to do my little sign-off thing here. This is S. Patrick Brooks with the Heavy Underground. Here, I'll do it more seriously. This is Sean from the Heavy Underground Farm Report, and I was absolutely honored to have the Freaks on tonight. I had Ruben and Jason. This is like the most fun I've had doing an interview that I can ever remember. So you guys, I really appreciate your awesome attitude, your amazing music. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you go. Enjoy your party. Enjoy another think about me when you're drinking your next whiskey root beer float. I'm going to go smoke a joint and tell my girlfriend what a wonderful time I had. Thanks again, fellas.
You bet, man.
Did you hear? Did you see him? I bet you can. Yeah!